Alrighty, everybody, this is Maiwan here at Dash Radio with the beautiful, the talented, the elegant Tiwa Savage. How are you doing, Queen?
I'm amazing, thank you.
No, thank you for being here. And I keep having to call you Queen because to me you are the embodiment of a queen.
Thank you.
From just the way you carry yourself
Thank you.
to musically, you're an absolute queen.
Thank you.
And no, I want to thank you for bringing that 90s R&B that I grew up in love with.
Yeah, right?
And tying it in with what you grew up with your culture, this Afrobeats R&B fusion that you're doing.
Right.
It's so beautiful.
It is, it's amazing. Like, I grew up on R&B as well. Like, so, yeah. But there's no way I would have escaped it because it's in my DNA now.
But was there ever a part where people were like, listen, like, don't do the R&B. We need to go straight Afrobeats. We need to go straight club or pop.
So it's funny, like, when I lived in LA, we were saying off air, like, so when I was in LA, I started noticing, like, the Afrobeat scene back home. Mm-hmm. So I was telling my manager then, like, yo, I really want to do Afrobeat. And they were like, what is that? Like, that's never going to pick up.
And at that time, you were doing R&B?
No, at that time, I was just living in LA as a songwriter.
Oh, okay.
So then I wanted to do the transition to being an artist, but I didn't want to just do R&B. I wanted to do Afrobeat. And so he was just like, you're crazy. Like, it's never going to pick up. So I went back home, and then I was like, oh, I want to mix R&B and Afrobeat. And people just literally thought it was too foreign, like it wasn't going to pick.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then look at now.
Right.
Now you're doing records with Brandi. You're doing records with Nas.
Yeah.
Which that record with Brandi is so deep because just from the title, Somebody's Son, I was like, just even reading the title, I said, oh man, that's
an anthem.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yes, and it's almost like it reminds me of like when Monica and Brandi did their songs.
Right.
You guys. Yeah, you guys really did kind of like a not 100% modern day version of that, but with the new messaging,
right,
which is like almost making it just almost brings light because we always say like every girl is some dad's daughter, but you guys are saying no, that's somebody's son.
Somebody's son.
Yeah.
We all, and it was already like a hashtag, so it was easy for people to relate to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how did you get together with Brandi?
Oh wow! So she's literally like my idol, my all-time favorite vocalist. Like
really,
ever. Yeah, I remember when I moved to London, and she when I heard "I Want to Be Down," Broken Hearted, I was like, yeah, like I want to be a singer. And I used to literally mimic and listen to her backups, her ad libs, everything.
Wow.
And so for years I've always been like, I just want to meet her. And then I met up with Stacey Barr. Mm-hmm. Who also knows her, and a friend of mine, Rich King, and they just did the connection, and it was just like, wow.
How amazing.
With Brandi, and then she was like, let's do a song together. I was like, I already have the song.
Yeah, girl, I have been waiting.
For you to
How amazing. Was that the moment in your career where you said, oh my God, my dreams have all come true?
And you know what a lot of people say is like, it's not good to meet your idol because you might be disappointed. Someone you've looked up to for years.
It's happened.
And then when you see that, then when you meet them, they might be rude or they're just like, there's something just off.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh my God, like that whole thing you had in your head is just completely gone. It's the opposite. Like, I literally, no kidding, like if we don't text or call or whatever, we communicate at least 2-3 times a week.
You and Brandi?
Yes, all the time.
Wow.
It's like
that's
that.
The coolest thing.
Amazing. Like we connected the first time we spoke on the phone. Like, it was just the chemistry was real.
That's a beautiful thing because I know what you're talking about. I'm not going to say names, but there's rappers who I've loved. I met them.
Tell us the name.
All right, Mace. I met Mace.
No
I don't know if you know
way.
Mace.
Yeah.
I love Mace's music.
And me too.
I personally think Harlem World is one of the best debut rap albums for me. It's one of my favorite rap albums. So met Mace, told him that, brought a copy of Harlem World because I have this extensive album collection. Literally just brought it to tell him I love your music so much and I think this is very underappreciated. He goes, you don't have to lie to me. And then his manager, one of his team members was like, hey man, we don't like people kissing our ass. And I said, oh my God, I thought you were Mace, like you were the nicest guy.
No, but maybe he didn't mean it like that.
No, I think he was having a bad day.
Maybe he was just thinking that, oh, like, you know, are you sure? Are you serious?
Yeah, because it is a bold thing to say Harlem World. I told him it's one of my top 10 favorite rap albums.
Wow.
Also, I was catching him backstage at a show.
Oh, so
he was
maybe
about to hit the stage.
Yeah, he maybe is a bit like.
I don't think it was the timing. So anyway, I got the opposite experience that you and Brandi got, which is awesome though that you and
Sorry
Brandi.
about that.
No, it's okay, Mace. We'll get back.
still love you.
We'll redo this, Mace. We'll fix it. Don't worry. Before we continue, I have to give you a gift.
Okay.
So I bring gifts for all the artists I interview. It's from my music collection. So I apologize that it's used, but I wanted to give you. Let me grab it. Lovers Rock.
No.
Yes. I had to give that to you because Sade to me really crossed a lot of genres as far as like R&B and just soul and pop. There was no genre to Sade. I still find it hard to put that on there.
This is amazing.
Of course, that is yours.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
It's Sade. Like,
Right? What genre do we even call Sade?
she's just her own genre.
But
She's who she is.
and I feel like you're also in this box that we can't put anyone else into. You're like your own artist.
This is amazing.
Oh.
Wow. Thank you.
Of course,
Oh my
of course.
goodness.
You came, you waited while I was talking to rappers. I had to give you a gift. You know, hindsight, I wish I gave you a Brandi album, but these are all from my collection. I didn't have any Brandi albums,
No, don't say
which
that.
is a shame.
What?
No, that's on me. I love Brandi. I'm like, you know, that whole, for me being from LA, we love
Yes,
Brandi.
yes.
Her and Ray J were like
Ray,
ours,
yeah,
you know what I
yes,
mean? Back in the day, I remember. So have you, I just have to ask, you have such a unique sound, but at the same time, like, you've, I don't know how you've been able to work with artists like Nas, like Brandi, and it just fits. So how when you got with Nas, for example, was it like, what song do I put Nas on? Did you know which one?
So that was like the last thing. Like the song was already done, and we, Anthony, who manages me, also works with Nas. So it was just like, you know, Rich King, the guy who wrote it. He was like, you know who would be great on this record? He was like, Nas, and I'm like, how are we gonna get Nas?
Yeah, you're
Never
like,
gonna-
duh.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, so I put the call through to Anthony, and I was just like, yo, do you think we can call Nas and see if he likes the song? He's just like, yo, I think he's gonna love it. It's right up his alley. And,
It was.
when I spoke to him, he was like, this is a beautiful record. And I was like, whoa, like just blown away. And I was just waiting every day for like the verse to come in. And when it did, I was just like, this is
It came in
insane.
perfectly.
Yeah, so I wasn't in the studio when he was recording it. I just
Yeah, the verse
I
came
just
in.
got the inbox and
Well, it makes sense too when you look back. Nas had, I don't know if you remember, Nas had an entire album with Damian Marley called Distant Relatives, and it makes sense to me that you know, you working with Nas and he's so comfortable in that lane.
yeah, he's.
But
so
you wouldn't
open to-
think so. As an outsider at first, I was like, Nas.
But then he's so. I mean, he's an icon. He's you know, I don't really. I think you can even put him on a country record and he'll kill it. Like,
Yeah,
his
absolutely.
song, his voice is just. He's just one like how we said Sade. He's just in his own world.
Absolutely.
He'll kill anything.
And he's aged so well musically.
Amazing, yes.
You know, these last 2 years, he's had like a renaissance musically, which is so tough to do.
Yeah, and so it's perfect timing. To
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't want to mispronounce it. Water in Gary?
Gary, yeah.
Gary.
Yes.
I was trying to, you know what, it's going to be so bad. Do you remember Dr. Dre's The Chronic?
Yes.
There's a song on there where she's like, what nine Gary? And that's what I kept hearing in my head. So I was trying to read it like water. So how do we say it? Water and
Water and Gary.
Gary. And what
Yes.
does Gary mean?
So Gary is like I would say like a flour or like it's like oatmeal, but you know, before you mix it. So that's kind of what Gary is. So when you mix it with water, you get like a porridge type of
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then you
okay.
add sugar, you add peanuts, you add all kinds of stuff, and like it's very
it's like-
delicious.
Okay.
So for me, it's like you wouldn't think when you add those two things together that it would, you know, create something that's so yummy. So for me, it's like the EP is like a blend of me and a Nas that you might never expect to be on the record.
Absolutely.
Myself and Tiwa, myself and Amaray, myself and Brandi. So it's like bringing just different people from different worlds.
That's kind of your whole thing.
Yeah, making magic.
That and it really, I think your life kind of led you to this point because you lived in London, right? Mm-hmm. You lived in LA.
Yep.
You lived in Nigeria.
Yes.
And
I lived in Brooklyn too, actually.
Oh, Brooklyn too?
And Boston. I studied in Boston.
You have been all around.
Yeah.
Wait, how far did you get in school? You said you studied in Boston?
Yes, jazz.
Amazing.
I went to Berklee College of Music.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let me just do a round of applause to that. Wow. That just accomplishing that in anyone's lifetime is amazing. So for you to do that and then get to hear what Brandi and
I know, right?
Amazing.
Like I studied jazz and I have no idea about it anymore. It's just I just did it to graduate and now
I feel like
doing Afrobeats. Like,
school can't really teach you music, in a sense. It can.
It can, like for me, like coming from Nigeria, I was exposed to so many genres, like I said, jazz, blues, Motown type of, there's like Marvin Gaye, Temptation.
Oh yeah.
Like Negro spirituals. Those I never had access to that in Nigeria.
So when you came here,
when I studied, for me, I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I can do any type of genre of music because I studied so much.
Absolutely, yeah. You were studied. You're not like you studied YouTube, my friend. No. You said Berklee College of. And speaking of Motown, congratulations. You're officially with Motown, or you dropped the project with Motown.
Officially.
So wow, the torch gets passed on, right?
Yeah, right.
You talk about
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, right? Berry Gordy, Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross,
Marvin Gaye.
Do you, using that word pressure, do you feel any pressure? Like, okay, I want to accomplish something as great as these people did.
No, I mean, I'm so inspired, and it's not really. I'm just enjoying everything. I'm just enjoying the moment, like just. Fact that I'm even here, like doing this interview, I literally cherish every single moment. So it's not so much pressure. It's more like, an ambition. Like I just feel like
that's a beautiful
something
thing
to aspire to. Like so. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's beautiful that you see that because I think a lot of times we don't get to see the beauty in the madness.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read the book The Alchemist, Pablo Coelho.
Like probably like the fifth person.
Yeah, it's so short. This will make you read it. It's like 150 pages, 200 pages.
Okay.
Get through it in a day. He talks about the king. The king asks guy. He says, "Do you want to walk through my castle?" He says, "Yes." He goes, "If you can walk through with this egg on a spoon and not drop it, I'll show you everything in the world." The guy goes, "Okay, king." Walks through the whole castle watching the egg. He gets to the end and he goes, "I did it." And the king said, "Yeah, and I showed you everything in the world."
Oh, wow.
And you were so focused on the task, you missed it. Oh, wow. And so I think that's so beautiful that you are cherishing all of this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of artists wait. People in general, we wait for some gratification.
Yeah, you want to just get to the Grammys or perform at the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Right? You have to cherish, because I always say to. Sometimes they ask me in an interview, what advice do you have for an upcoming artist or whatever? And I still consider myself upcoming.
No way.
Especially in this side of the world.
Okay, in the States, I can see that.
I'm just building my career all over again, which to me is a blessing.
Isn't that fun almost?
Yeah,
exciting?
It's weird because it's like, I can be in Nigeria or Africa and I'm recognized everywhere, but I can be here and walk on the street and be recognized by one or two people, but it's not as crazy. So I can enjoy just getting away and just chilling.
I was gonna ask that. Is that cool almost?
That's so cool.
Because you can't go to. I have this comparison of being. I would never want to be so famous. I can't go to a Target or a Walmart. Like a local store.
Yeah.
Back home you can't, right?
Right.
They're gonna flood you if you go anywhere.
Yeah.
So when you come to the States, do you feel like, I can finally do normal things?
There's some places it's not that easy. Like if I go to New York, I definitely get recognized a lot. I think
absolutely. There's a big African.
Or Houston or Atlanta or Maryland, DC. There's still some places, but I'm sure I can go to Kansas.
Well, you have another year or two. Right? In a year or two, my friend, Kansas, you won't be able to go to Arkansas,
Nashville,
Alaska. No, they'll know you in Nashville already. That's a music town.
Right.
But so you're like a musician's musician. You really grew up in love with music and that 90s. The fact that you said Brandi inspired you so much is.
Oh yeah, Brandi. I still listen to Ella Fitzgerald. just I listen to jazz a lot. I listen to gospel, Kim Burrell. Like I am definitely a musician.
If you were to pick, because I think as we mature as adults, this answer changes. But what's your go-to album right now? Like your favorite album at this point in your life?
Like right now, or just
Yeah,
all time?
all time. But you know what I mean? For me, it used to be like Eminem when I was a kid. Now
Still
it's
Full Moon.
Stevie Wonder. Full Moon?
Mm-hmm.
That's the artist?
Brandy, yeah.
Oh,
name
the
of
Brandy
is
album.
Full Moon, yeah.
Still Brandy.
Still, yeah.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
I'm at the old point in my life. I'm not that old, but I just turned 30. We'll throw it out there. And I'm at the point now where Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life, has become my...
You have good taste.
It's just my album. Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
Merci beaucoup. So the project's out now.
Yes.
And I know obviously you're touring the States, but you are very well recognized in Europe.
Yes.
All around.
Yeah, because Europe is just like, again, there's a huge African community, and like, I think, it's close to London, and London is already, they've been on the Afrobeat scene for a while.
Yes.
So, yeah, Europe is big on the genre.
Yeah, and Afrobeats, do you feel like, I feel like, this might sound bad, I might get smacked for this, but I feel like Drake should get like a thank you letter from the Afrobeats community, because I really liked how he worked with WizKid, and it even opened my ears. Like I have big ears. It opened me to saying like, oh shit, this sounds really good.
Yeah, of course.
Do you feel like Drake kind of helped Afrobeats
I
get?
think there's a lot of artists that have used their platform to just like bring more light. Drake being one of them, and he's such an amazing artist for him to be able to recognize it. So like early, even before it became a trend. So definitely, and I think even Beyonce with Black is King. She used a platform, and that was huge. So many people. Rihanna has been so influential in bringing the spotlight to the music. P Diddy.
I haven't seen Diddy. Really? He's been instrumental?
He executive produced Burna's last album that won the Grammy for him. So, Diddy's definitely...
Did he executive produce that?
Yeah.
Shout out to Diddy, staying busy.
Naomi Campbell has been to Nigeria so many times and just helped the whole genre. So.
Yeah. Well, you guys are not even here. You guys have been here. The Afrobeat sound is well engraved. And the reason I bring up Drake is also you guys gave Drake a hit. Like when Drake worked with WizKid, it was more of like WizKid being like, here, Drake, like I have this great song. And so I think that more and more we're going to see more artists working with Afrobeats.
Of course, yeah.
And
the respect is mutual, so it's not like, I feel like they're giving us such amazing like support and respect. It's not like, like back in the day where you just like pay an artist to just give you a verse. It's not really like that. Like they genuinely love the vibe. They genuinely love the music. And I think they're also trying to connect back to Africa too.
Absolutely. And I think, sonically, like Afrobeats is just so fun. Such a fun genre. You can't really produce a sad Afrobeat song. You'll still dance to it. Even if it's like, she broke my heart.
Right.
Like you're still moving. There's still a little bop to it.
Like even like the song with Brandi, Somebody's Son, the chords are very emotional. Like you don't know if you want to cry or dance. It's just like
you're almost like crying.
Listen to you, but then your feet, you're still moving. You're like, what is going on? Like my body is doing different things. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I was gonna also ask you about your accent, which I think is beautiful. But your accent sounds very English.
Yeah. So it's a mix of Nigerian, English, and sometimes I have like, I don't know. It's just a mix of everywhere I've been.
Because you're such a melting pot, like yourself. As an artist, if you were to say what one city that you lived in impacted you the most, which one would you say?
It has to be Lagos.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
back home, yeah. When did you move to London?
When I was about 11.
Okay, and then from London, where was next?
From London, then Boston.
Wow, and that's when you went to school. Boston, I'm assuming, then New York.
Then New York.
So I was gonna assume what happens to most of us, we go to New York, chase our dreams.
Yes.
Until you can't afford that New York rent anymore.
You're doing like the being a waitress and going to the studio.
And you went through all that, I imagine.
Did all around. And then I got a deal with Sony ATV as a songwriter. I got a check and then I moved to LA. Like,
Wow, yeah, that's normally how it goes. Are you still doing a lot of songwriting for other artists?
nah, oh my God, I haven't
Locked
done
in
that
on you?
Maybe 10, 15, yeah.
Really? You don't have any desire to? What if you write a beautiful song and it just doesn't fit your album?
I'll make it fit. I'll make it fit.
Tiwa said, "You are no, honey. You are not getting my records."
Or if I give it to you, I'm a feature on that song.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you, what do you think the next evolution of Tiwa Savage is?
Oh, I definitely want to grow the brand, way bigger outside of Europe and Africa. But I want to go into I don't know, movies. I think I really want to try my hand in that.
I could see that, like acting.
Yes.
I could, you know what I could see you doing, and you're probably gonna hate this because you said you're not gonna give songs away, but I can see you cultivating artists just from your experiences and your knowledge.
I don't know if I have that gift because I feel like you have to, because I'm such a, when you're managing or signing artists, your life is not your own anymore. So for instance, if your artist is nominated for a category and they don't win,
Absolutely.
I feel that pressure as well. I feel the pressure of I could be sleeping and then I wake up and then my artist is trending for something and I
So you wouldn't want to do that?
No, I don't want to.
I was about to ask to get signed. Never mind. We'll hold that for the next one. No, I just thought because your experience and your knowledge in the industry, I think that even if not that, I was gonna say I think one day you're gonna open doors for a lot of people in Lagos.
Oh,
back
I do.
home.
I do already. Even I have artists that pay for a music video for them or
how
introduce
sweet
them
of
to a
you.
label or just speak to them, encourage them, advise them. Every time they send me songs, I'm like, this is what I think, but I always also tell them that I'm not the Bible. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's still some things that I might not feel might just tomorrow wake up and just be a hit. So. Yeah, I do that naturally anyway.
Okay, you're a great individual. I can tell. You just have a great. You don't even sign artists. You just give them the contacts and the connects.
Yeah, why not?
Well, if you weren't making music, which might be hard for you to imagine, what would Tiwa be doing if she wasn't a musician?
I would want to be married to a billionaire and just be cruising on my yacht
Just a
around the world.
trophy wife, like a beautiful trophy wife.
And just enjoying my life.
We have that coincidence because I would love to be a trophy husband. I tell my girlfriend all the time, I'm like, listen, babe, I will clean everything.
Listen, why not?
I'll sing you
I would
Anita
not get
Baker
bored.
every night.
Maybe I will get bored, but still, it's nice to be bored on a yacht.
Yeah. That's very true, very true. And how's your love life now?
Good.
Good. Hey, that's a great answer. That's all I'm not even gonna dig any deeper. I just wanted to know. Good is the only answer we needed.
Yes.
Beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Well, the project is making its rounds, and I think here in the States you're gonna really help. I can't say reintroduce Afrobeats because we know it, but you're gonna remind us how great Afrobeats is,
absolutely.
especially working with Brandi and Nas. You make us U.S. listeners say, "Oh shit, you got Nas on there."
Right, on an Afrobeat record, or Brandi on an Afrobeat record, and they absolutely killed it.
Killed it. So what's next? You got videos coming out soon or new?
So I have a video to Somebody's Son featuring Brandi, and I think it's coming out on the 12th of October.
Yes, so exciting.
Yes.
Did you get to shoot the video with her?
Yes.
We're gonna end it on this. How cool was that experience kicking in with Brandi?
I
Shooting a
tried
video.
to just remain calm and cool and just
You didn't freak out? I would have freaked out.
yeah, but she's so lovely. She made me feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
It was hard to kind of I was nervous, obviously, but she was just amazing. We were cracking jokes, and I had a couple of shots to just cool myself down.
Absolutely.
So at one point, I was just on cloud nine.
Yeah, that I can imagine.
Literally.
That's like best day of life type experience.
Right. Yeah.
Do you remember when her and Monica did the verses? Did you watch
Yeah.
that?
Oh my goodness. Yes.
That tension. How crazy was that
I
tension?
loved because me and a couple of my friends, obviously Team Monica and I'm Team Brandi. So we made this whole big deal about it. We went to my friend's house.
You guys had a party and
we
everything?
had a party. We had it was fun. I was screaming the whole time.
Such a beautiful battle. Such a beautiful moment for them to see them
yes.
show love to each other.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Well, you, my friend, you've accomplished so much, and what I think is so exciting is I think you would acknowledge is you get to kind of not start new, but this is like a new challenge for you, a new endeavor to conquer another continent, which is crazy to think. Like you've conquered continents with the S, plural. And we'll end it actually. Last question: what's driving you to keep going? Because you could have stopped at Africa, you could have stopped at Europe.
My son.
Really?
Yeah, my son.
It's being a mother is what's really driving you.
Because I wake up every day, look at him, and I'm just like, I need to keep going till whenever. So.
What's his name, if you don't mind me asking? Jamil. God bless you, Jamil.
He just turned 6.
Wow, Jamil, you might be too young to understand this. Hopefully you see this at an older age. God bless your birth, because your mother now is reinvigorated.
Yes.
Water and Gary.
What's and Gary? Yes.
I'll keep saying with some weird accent, just Water and Gary.
Yes.
Water and Gary, out now.
Out now.
I think the project's amazing, and I'm so excited to see your evolution on this continent and see how you take over the States.
Thank you.
You know, so of course, Dash Radio will have you playing all over our pop stations, our Afrobeat stations, and we are big supporters. Thank you so much for coming in. Of course, and you are going to continue that Motown legacy.
Amen.
No pressure. No, eventually in 10 years, new people signing to Motown are going to be like, man, you're following up Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, Tiwa Savage. Like, you're going to fit right in there.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much, everybody. This is Maiwan, the beautiful Tiwa Savage. Thank you, everybody, and we're out.